I'm sure you clicked on this video because it's something along the lines of why Hacksaw Ridge sucks, why you shouldn't watch it, blah, 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 something like that. But just to get the cat out of the bag a little bit early, I think Andrew Garfield overall did a fantastic job portraying Desmond Doss. I think overall that the movie has a wild amount of inaccuracies, and I'm just not a fan of that. It's hard to look past after diving into the 77th Infantry Division and into Desmond Doss's life. I'm just like, some of the inaccuracies are just wildly crazy. And I think Mel Gibson and his team should have done a better job. So I have a list of 12 things that I would like to touch on that just for me really irk me. So like number one, the portrayal of Desmond Doss's dad, Tom Doss, as being abusive. There's really no record of that. And of course that's like the underlying theme of why Desmond is the way he is. But overall his sisters even stated more or less that he's always wanted to be a good Samaritan, wanting to be helpful, because he was a conscientious objector and a Seventh-day Adventist, which one of the main things, like pillars that they preach, is pacifism. And so that's something that's always embodied Desmond, but there has been no links to Desmond's dad being abusive. So now we're going to get into number two, which is Dorothy, which is Desmond's wife. They didn't meet while she was a nurse during that blood drive scene where he goes into the hospital wanting to give his blood. They actually met at church, and Dorothy didn't become a nurse until later on in life. You can look that one up yourself, but that's just like completely, that's a giant inaccuracy that I can't look past. So for me, maybe this is all nitpicking. So if this isn't your type of thing, go ahead and click off now. But like, I'm going to be nitpicking just as somebody that has been studying this and just overall just kind of fed up after recently watching this. I mean, number three, Harold Doss, which is Desmond Doss's brother. Why was he wearing an army uniform when he was in the Navy? That makes no sense. Like, he served in the European theater and the Pacific theaters of war. He was on the USS Lindsay, and he was in the Navy. He was not portrayed like in the dinner scene wearing an army uniform. I get they were trying to make Tom Doss relate more, showing the World War I side effect of everything as an older man now, as a middle-aged man with kids, and his sons are starting to be like him and his friends that went off to war, and some of his friends died. He doesn't want his sons to end up the same way. But, I mean, the inaccuracies of the uniforms and him not joining the army is a complete disregard to any history action, in my opinion. And then we have number four, Desmond Doss was already married when they show him missing his wedding day. They portrayed it more or less as, you know, with Mel Gibson's movies, they have more of a religious undertone, and that's completely okay. But he's not like a type of martyr that they're holding his religion against him in this particular aspect of the movie. He was already married. He was trying to go see his brother before he shipped off onto USS Lindsay to go off to war. You can check out Real History's video, which I'll have linked down below, where he goes into more depth on what I just said. And a lot of this stuff as well are kind of a culmination of things that Real History has said as well. So I couldn't recommend that channel enough. Number five, the 77th Infantry Division, they were battle-hardened soldiers at this point in the war, and when they go to Okinawa, they literally skip over massive amounts of the 77th Infantry Division and what they'd gone through. They cut out so much. They served with distinction on Guam and in Leyte, which is in the Philippines. They skipped out on all of that. For what reason? They were battle-hardened soldiers, some of the best. They were known as the old bastards. Watch the Fat Electricians video. They were battle-hardened. So a lot of the quotes are like, oh, what's it like? What's it like when they meet up with the 96th Infantry Division? Obviously, they're going to still be scared. No person is not going to be scared going off to war. But they are going to be more methodical and more, they know what to do. They're battle-hardened. So I don't like that aspect. And then also going back, when the 96th Infantry Division medic comes over to meet Desmond Doss, he's telling him to take off his Red Cross insignia as if he didn't know to do that. And why would he still be wearing that Red Cross insignia when he's already a battle-hardened soldier? I just find that, to me, kind of weird because he's already been in 2 island hopping campaigns. So to me, I don't understand that one, and it's just super frustrating because Desmond Doss has 2 Bronze Stars for Valor during both campaigns and has also received Purple Hearts as well. He is no stranger to combat. Neither is most of the 77th Infantry Division, the ones that didn't get wounded and didn't get killed in action, obviously. So I just find that, to me, just super annoying. overall. And obviously everybody knows this one. The look of the Maeda escarpment with the giant netting, hundreds of feet tall. Obviously we all know that is not accurate. It is a lot shorter. That netting was there, and I applaud that as well, because that is accurate, but it's not hundreds of feet tall. So that's something that we have to look past as well. I get they have to have their own theatrical liberties. It's more ominous if it's as massive as that. So I get it with that, but it's still not accurate. So, I mean, we got a couple more here. The part where they're walking up on the escarpment on Hacksaw Ridge, and you see all the bloodied faces, you see all the mangled limbs, you see all the dead bodies, and the one army soldier that just happens to stop, and this random American soldier just pops up, and there's a jump scare in a war movie, and they both could just get hosed down by machine gun fire. That was not necessary to put in the movie, and it's super frustrating. I didn't like that part. I think we kind of get into the battle scenes that are a little bit more accurate, because when they are first heading up onto the Maeda escarpment and then on a Hacksaw Ridge, they sustained 75 plus casualties in the matter of minutes, even in an hour. This amount of casualties and dead just completely overwhelmed the medics, because there wasn't many medics at the time as well. So that kind of got the accuracy of it, and just like the disillusion and the craziness of the war. The last one I want to talk about that really bugs me, and I know real history will agree with me on this, is when Smitty is picking up the dead American that's cut in half and using his torso in his left hand as a shield to get up to Desmond Dawson to move up into the front lines, while shooting his Browning automatic rifle in his right hand, pulling down that trigger. He's using all of his ammunition as well. There is no way that this is possible. A BAR weighs around 25 pounds, and you cannot fire that with one hand. I have never been in the military. I have never been in the army. I like to study it. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm a pretty big guy. I don't think I could even do that, and especially not even in that environment where you're holding probably a 60-pound plus torso in a left hand and holding it like it's nothing, and then a 25-pound gun while shooting it with zero recoil. It makes no sense to me. But what do I know? I'm not a movie producer. I'm not a director. I was never even in the military. So take with this what you want. Hate me, like me, agree to disagree. Let's all do it respectfully. I try to keep it as respectful as possible. I think that they could have been more respectful for the 77th Infantry Division, and in some ways Desmond Doss. I think they portrayed him as a person that was a conscientious objector that wanted to do right, and I think that they got that part right. And that's just kind of my gripes with the movie as a whole. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with me. I want to have a civil discussion and talk about it, but to me, I think Hacksaw Ridge is one of my least favorite war films that I have seen, and probably one of the most inaccurate ones as well. So, anyways, guys, this is my first ever Hacksaw Ridge movie rant. I might do more of this if you like it in the future. Might do more if this does well. Who knows? Peace out.